So next is dietary habits, and what happens when we eat too much and why we eat too much and stuff like that. So a lot of the reasons why a lot of people is obese and stuff like that is one of them is fast foods. So every month each Brit spends £110 on takeaways. I mean, that's quite a lot of food. So
No, I'm good.
That's
Do you
about,
mind doing the door?
sorry. So about £1,320 a year is spent on fast food, and that's averaging about 12 meals every month. So obviously there is a lot of fast food in the UK. There's like McDonald's, Burger Kings, KFCs and stuff like that. So obviously sometimes it's just right on your doorstep. I mean, it's right down the street or something, and you know, when people can't, you know, if they've had a long day at work and they can't be bothered to cook after it, they just go down to the chip shop or McDonald's or something like that. So you know, obviously they spend more, but you know, because they can't be bothered to work, can't be bothered to cook, sorry, they they just go down to the shop and buy something because it's fast and you know, it's easy to get. Also, a lot of people eat because of boredom. In a British survey of 2,000 people, 48% of them, ages 16 to 24, and 40% of 35-year-olds to 44-year-olds eat because they're bored. So, I mean, I've eaten when I'm bored. You know, you think you're bored, your mind sort of thinks that you're hungry, so you end up eating rather than, you know, doing something else. Obviously some people just snack, and that's how people get fat as well, because they get bored, they don't actually do anything. Rather than, like, you know, going for a run or going and play football, they go and eat. Also, another reason why people eat is because they get stressed. A lot of people, when they get stressed, they have a coping mechanism. Like, some people it's smoking, some people it's drinking, some people they eat food because of it. And obviously the more stress they get, the more they'll eat. So eating too much or can cause diabetes. So there are about 3.9 million people in the UK living with diabetes. That's 1 in 16 basically. And that's, some people know it, some people don't know it, you know. It's very hard to recognise. Obviously there is a lot of symptoms, but around 700 people a day are diagnosed with diabetes. That's one person every 2 minutes, so that's, you know, that's quite scary really. And diabetes is caused because too much sugar in the body affects your insulin levels, which that affects how much sugar is regulated in your body. Also, diabetes can cause glaucoma, which causes you to go blind, and it can cause you to get, like, you know, your limbs, you can lose your limbs and stuff like that, and it's not a nice disease at all. So another thing it causes is obesity. Just over a quarter of adults in England are obese, and by 2050 they've estimated that half the population of England will be obese. Obesity is a massive thing in England. A lot of people are obese. I mean, we're not like America where it's too obese, but it is, you know, we are quite obese country. I think we're one of the fattest countries in Europe, which isn't, you know, isn't a good thing. As you can see by the pictures, there's a person being crane lifted out their house because they're too fat. You know, they can't get through the door or something. And obviously, as you can see from that picture on the right, that's someone's fat, and they've just amassed too much fat of their body. I don't think their body can cope. Also, there's the opposite. So people have eating disorders, so anorexia and bulimia. Bulimia is basically when people eat and then they throw it back up because they think, it fills them up, but they don't really want to eat because they want to stay thin. So obviously people eat, they throw it back up, and they think they're full, but really they haven't eaten anything. And bulimia causes like tooth decay and sore throats, because the acid in the vomit, it breaks away the teeth and it erodes it. So the teeth, start to break, and obviously you can see in that picture it's an anorexic girl. She's fairly young, and a lot of young girls want to be thin because they think it's the norm to be thin. In England, healthcare costs for eating disorders have been to 80 to 100 million pounds. That's in the UK, and the overall economic costs are likely to be 1.26 billion per year. And about 1.6 million people a year are affected by eating disorders, which is a lot of people considering how many people are in the UK.